Hello, I'm Paul Ferguson. With me is Richard Beaupre. Welcome once again to the 1990 World Ice Hockey Championships from Bern, Switzerland. Well, a great afternoon of sport coming up here on Eurosport. A nice mixture of sun and ice. Coming up, our first ice hockey game, Sweden against the Soviet Union.
The Swedes won in the round-robin play, but the Soviets seem to be peaking at the right time here. They're going to be awful tough to beat.
Well, a bit later on, West Germany against Finland. The West German side looking for their first points of the tournament.
The Finns seem to be putting it together better as this tournament goes on. The West Germans in all kinds of trouble trying to avoid relegation.
Well, in between, we'll be going to the Spanish Open in Madrid for coverage of the final day. All the big boys will be there, Langer, Faldo and Ballesteros. Let's take a look at the overnight leaderboard. Olazábal from Spain, Fowler from Australia, Bowman from USA, all tied with 7 under. McAllister, Langer, Martin and Chapman are there with 6 under. But really, don't rule out Ballesteros, he's 4 down. Davis McNulty, 5 under, but Ballesteros still in contention. Well, you can see all of that at approximately 3 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock European time on Eurosport today. Well, but first we're going to go to Bern, Switzerland for our coverage of the Pool A tournament, and you can see the Swedish supporters are here in numbers along with the Soviet supporters. They're looking forward to a close one.
It's all go here now.
Earlier on, we saw Czechoslovakia take on the Canadians in their first game of the medal round. The Czechs struck first in the first period with Kuchera.
The NHL likes this man. Good moves to the outside. The legs are still moving. Quick wrist shot. Beats McLean on the far side.
Still in the first period with the Czechs playing primarily defensive hockey. They struck again with Seeger on this long shot. It took a deflection off Coffey, but McLean wasn't set. 2-0 the score.
Classic example of anything can happen when you shoot the puck. He's outside the blue line, the long shot. Coffey's stick just deflects that puck and McLean is unable to come up with it.
The Canadians, with a power play here, outshot the Czechs in the second period, 22-9. Eventually, Adams gets the goal for Canada to make it 2-1.
The Czechs in the shorthanded situation, scrambling around. Good work from Yzerman and Coffey. The feed to Adams for a quick shot.
Again, the Czechoslovakian side taking advantage of the situation. Hollick breaking in here. Not a difficult shot for McLean, but once again he's beaten. That's number 3 for the Czechs.
This young line for the Czechs all over the ice, doing a great job out there. The feed from Reichel. Quick wrist shot by Hollick. Beats McLean.
The Canadians really put the pressure on in the third. Players all over the ice. Eventually, Lidster pokes it between the pads there for number 2 for Canada, but it really wasn't enough.
There's the action in front of the goal. Lidster coming in. Not a real hard shot, but it gets underneath Dominik Hasek.
So the final score there, Czechoslovakia 3, Canada 2. A capacity crowd here in Bern, Switzerland, getting set for this opening face-off. This is going to be a good one. The Swedes are going for gold, but so are the Soviets. Well, after that first game, we see Czechoslovakia, a surprise placing for them. They're up in first place. The Swedes, the Soviets, and the Canadians can all still win it.
It's anybody's game. The Czechs, of course, lost all 3 of these teams in the first round. They find themselves up by 2 points here, going into the medals. The Swedes and the Russians, of course, this will be a battle.
Well, let's take a look at the Swedish side. They've been consistent throughout. They've got a mixture of local players, NHL stars, ranking as second, offensively third, and defensively first. They beat the Czechs 5-1 in their last game, and they beat the Soviets on the 22nd of April 3-1.
They played a very solid game against the Russians last time out. They had them scrambling, and the job was done properly by the Swedes. Kent Nilsson has been a bright spot. 6 goals, 1 assist, a great center, heads-up hockey player. He's a man to watch.
Well, another good point in their favor is that they have strong goaltending. One of the reasons why they're so strong this year is that Ritterwall has been with them along with Aslan. Ritterwall is the #1 goaltender in the competition right now. He's been consistent. Not a lot of rebounds come out when he goes in to make the save.
A tall stand-up goalie just gets the job done out there.
The Soviets, without Davidov, will have Pryakin in the lineup, who's come over from Calgary, and they really have been strong. They haven't really come to their form yet, so watch them in the medal round.
Group A ranking 3rd offensively, they're #1, defensively #2. Their last time out against Canada was a 3-3 tie. After that, they went 3-1 down to the Swedes.
So this one is going to be close. I have a feeling at times it's going to be physical. Let's take a look at one of the top defensemen in the world. He's also one of the top defensemen for the Soviet Union. That's Fetisov. He was on the All-Star team. He played in the NHL. He can score goals, but he can really set them up.
He's led this team through tournaments before, and he's definitely dangerous. Homutov, of course, none enough can be said about him. His line mates Bykov and Kamensky play so well with him. He's got 9 goals and 4 assists so far in the tournament.
Well, a lot of vocal support here from both sides as we get set for the teams to come out on the ice. Join us in a moment for the start of the first period. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bern, Switzerland for the World Ice Hockey Championships Pool A. They're fighting it out now for the medals. The Soviet Union against Sweden will be on the ice in a moment, and we're expecting a lot of action. A good shot there of Tommy Sandlin, the Swedish coach. Well, let's take a look at the Swedish lineup. They've got some great goaltending in Ritterwall and Aslan, some strong defense in Eldebrink, Jonsson, Samuelsson, and Anderson.
They've got good shots from the point. They move the puck well. They blend very well with the forwards. Rundqvist, of course, he's played a great tournament. Kent Nilsson, the goal scorer. Eklund and Hakan Lube, a lot of experience with those two guys out on the ice.
I like Stromvall. He's a good playmaker. Garpenlov can score goals. Rupp is always dangerous behind the net and in the corners. Matt Sundin has been setting things up lately, and Huss has been scoring goals. Pietrowski, the American, will work alongside Schutz and Dimmers from West Germany, and they're going to have their hands full because this one's going to be fast. From the Soviet Union, Artur Erb, always solid between the pipes. Fettisov, well, what can you say about that guy? Kravchuk, Malachov, Gusarov, Tatarinov, and Konstantinov, the old workhorse, tireless workhorse out there, loves to score goals, loves to hit.
They play the body well, and they really protect the front of that goal. They've got great forwards in young Pavel Bure. Nemchinov has showed a lot in this tournament. Homutov, Kamensky, and Bykov, the big line.
Pryakin is here, Makarov. Hристич has been working well at center along with Makarov. Fedorov, always dangerous there. Well, the Swedes with Aslan giving Ritterwall a tap on the pad saying, go for it, son. This is going to be an important one for us. We got to win it. Mishkin doing the same thing with Artur Erb at the other end. A lot depends on the goaltenders in this kind of tournament. You really can't afford a mistake. We saw a couple of suspect goals go in against Canada. They eventually changed their goaltender, but it cost them the game. You rely 100% on the goalie to keep the soft ones out and come up with the great saves on the tough ones. Pietrowski gets the signal from the goal judges that they're ready. The crowd is certainly ready here.
Big crowd. They've certainly got a lot to go for. It's got to be on their minds that the Czechs upset the Canadians.
So we'll see the Swedish side playing from right to left. In the yellow and blue strip, the Soviets in their familiar dark red outfit. The Swedes dump it in right away, and they're going to take the Soviets on. They're really not going to sit back. Last time out, they beat them. The Soviets are capable of playing better hockey than they have at the start of this tournament, and they know it.
The Soviets always seem to get stronger in the medal round of play. We've seen it year in and year out.
Bykov missed that, and Eldebrink will pick it up for Sweden. He's out there with Rundqvist. Garpenlov overskated that. Coming along is Semak. He's taken out right at the blue line. pushed in to Eldebrink. Janssen. Eklund moves up on the wing. On this side, it's Garpenlov. Garpenlov trying to get it right in front. He does. Kept in nicely by number 25, Johansson. Right to the side. Garpenlov took the shot. May have taken a slight deflection. He handles Tatarinoff, smashes him to the ice. And the Soviets under a little pressure here. That one goes right beside the net. Garpenlov was right there. Irbe watched it go by. Still kept in. Eriksson now. Let's go the shot. Irbe makes the save. Some good pressure here as Nemchinov gets it back into the corner. Both teams trying to get a change. The Soviets bringing it out. Byakin steps on the ice, races to his wing, and the puck is fired in. Byakin will go after that one. Samuelsson picks it up for Sweden and brings it out. Waiting for reinforcements. Both teams again changing on the fly. I say, I have a feeling this one is going to be fast. Both teams of skating the entire distance. Byakin flips that one up. Pavel Buре to the far side. The Soviets with so much talent out there really can afford to send on anyone they want. Buре in there with the backhand shot. No real danger. Carlson got that back and got it again. Carlson. A nice little move by him at center. Still, it's Carlson. Takes the weak shot wide of the target. Sundin having problems along the board there with Kravchuk. Pietrowski saying play it, but they don't want to play it. They want to face off.
The action's going to be very quick. Both teams will be changing very quickly throughout this whole game. Both teams want to establish the offensive game, but they're both very good defensively. They're going to be dumping that puck in a lot. We'll see a lot of action with the forwards in the corners.
Well, Pavel Woll of Czechoslovakia changed his tactics yesterday. Played a strong defensive game against Canada, and it worked. The Canadians outshot them, but the shots weren't that good. They didn't have that many scoring opportunities, and the zone really got bogged down, and Canadians had a lot of problem moving in the Czechoslovakian zone and couldn't put the puck in the net. They had the shots, a lot of them from the distance. Sternvall trying to get that one back to Svensson. He couldn't hang on to it. Tipped over to the far side. A slow start here as Hристич now brings it in. Hристич has got Pryakin. He's seeing action for the first time. There's going to be a penalty on the play. Tapped away from in front of the Swedish cage.
Referee right on the spot. Eldebrink's making his way to the penalty box. He put the grab on Hристич as he was going around him on the outside. There you see 28, Hристич puts a puck by the stick, puts a move to the outside. Eldebrink had sort of committed himself, had to put the grab on him. No question about that call.
So he'll sit for two. The Soviets will have a power play. Just 3:20 gone on the period here. Makarov out there with Bykov. So nice to see him back in a Soviet uniform. It'll be an easy one for the Swedes to clear down the ice. Goes as far as center. Some good stuff by Tatarinoff as he flips it to the far side. The drop pass to Makarov. The Swedes setting up that box. The Soviets with Tatarinoff taking the shot. Oh, a great save by Ritterwald. It's a great round of applause too. Another shot coming right in. That bounces away. Kamensky got the woodwork on that. Bykov picks it up. Gives it back to Kamensky. 1:15 remaining on the penalty. Kamensky slowly working it into the circle. Looking for Bykov. He's got Makarov right in front of the net. Tatarinoff is positioned at the slot. The Swedes doing a great job of refusing to let them enter the box or break it down.
Tikhonov, who normally goes with his set lines on the power play, has actually broken them up. He's got Makarov out there with Kamensky and Bykov rather than Khomutov.
Well, Khomutov has been playing well. Makarov gets it right back. A nice little tip there at the last minute by Rundqvist. Rundqvist breaking down, and Archer Irbe comes way out to the boards by the blue line to smother it. Anderson wants to have a go. He's a little late. He's got to watch it.
Although that was a bit senseless. Irbe had come out and covered that puck. Rundqvist was there, but he made no attempt to go after him. There's Archer Irbe coming way out, doing the right thing, covering the puck. Rundqvist just slammed the brakes on, sort of fell over the top of him very innocently. Everybody else seems to come crashing in here.
Good shot of Viktor Tikhonov, the Soviet coach, giving instructions to the boys on the bench. Drop back to Gusarov, to Tatarinov, or rather Kravchuk. Flip that to the far side. Under 25 seconds remaining on the penalty to Sweden. Leonov in the corner with Semák. Nemchinov tries his luck on the far side. Samuelsson gets there and pokes it in amongst the skates, but it's still loose. Coming up to 6 seconds on the penalty. 5:16 gone in the first period. No score as Gusarov goes all the way back for it. Gets it to the far side. And the Swedes are back at full strength. A good effort by them to kill this one off. Not a great pass forward there by the Soviet defenseman. Samuelsson brought it into the zone and puts it back into the corner. Right in front now. Garpenlov takes a shot. It took a deflection. Nemchinov pushed that one forward, and the Soviets now breaking with 2 players, now 3. Semák trying to get something going along with Leonov. Johansson for Sweden drops it back. Anderson pushed that to the far side. Gusarov goes after his man, Garpenlov. They change partners, and the puck comes all the way back to the hash marks. Gusarov will start it out now for the Soviet Union. Fedorov loses control along the boards. Gusarov flips that one forward. Soviets taking a while to pull their game together here in the first period. Rupa, always dangerous along the boards and in the corner. He really does love to mix it up. A long pass, flip to Fedorov. Pushed into the corner. Svensson roughing it up along the boards. Strömvall pokes it back into the corner, and the Swedes now have possession. Jansson, a nice little move there by Strömvall, gets it over to the far side. Svensson is breaking the shot right on the target. Svensson was right there. Rupa got the shot, and the Soviets now with Pavel Bure touching that puck. Eventually the whistle blows. Bure was shaking off a stick that was lying on the ice and trying to get to the bench for a change. As we said, a lot of support for both teams.
There's a long time there without a whistle. The action going well. A good flow end to end. Irbe coming up with a couple of nice saves in the Soviet goal.
Hристич won the draw and got it back to the Soviet defense. Pryakin had that one go behind him. Rundqvist picks it up for Sweden. Rundqvist, oh, nice little move by him. Taken out of the play eventually just inside the blue line. Eriksson bats it back in. Makarov up on the wing. Pryakin and Fedorov, or Hристич rather, pushed back to the center slot area, and Hakanlub got it back to Eriksson. Samuelsson, a lovely little pass to the right wing. Nilsson is breaking towards the net. Rundqvist takes a shot. Irbe makes the save. It really wasn't a difficult one, but he got a piece of it and steered it behind the net. Makarov. Hристич. Close checking in the neutral zone. Both teams going for that quick break if they can get it. Lube gets it back. Anderson, a high one that's flipped in. Both teams changing on the go here.
Soviets getting new legs out there with Bykov flying off the bench.
Andersson goes back for it, bounces it off the boards, and again the Swedes break forward. Coming up strong, they've got Garpenlov right in front of the net. The shot comes from number 25, Johansson. Another good save by Archer Erb here in the first period. Kamensky coming back strong on the left wing. Kamensky dropping it back. The shot took a deflection, goes as far as the blue line on this side, and Kravchuk backhands it into Homutov. Still the Soviets in possession there. Bykov flipped it into the crowd. Andersson is there. Samuelsson picks it up, gets it all the way up over the blue line. Johansson couldn't contain it, and the Soviets bring it back in, trying to get the shot away. They do. The save is there. Ritterwall is all over the ice. Homutov got a piece of that. Some good goaltending from both goalies. Eklund got it out of the zone. The Swedes looking for a change. It goes down. The touch from Malahov will be icing.
Excellent work from that big line. Soviets putting pressure on there. The Swedes were dashing around for a few seconds, not knowing what to do here. A lot of action. Homutov with a shot right there. Ritterwall does well through a mirage of players to keep that one out. Kamensky was right there for the rebound. The Swedes trying to get a line change, dump that puck down to take the icing.
The West German linesman waiting for both teams to get set for this face-off. Neither team wants to rush this. Semak will do the honors for the Soviet Union. You can see the official saying, get out of the circle. Comes back to Fetisov. Fetisov pokes it through. More of a pass than a shot. Eldebrink got that one over to the far side, got the return pass, and flipped it up to center. Too far for Carlson. Fetisov is going to get to it first, and that'll be another icing call.
The Swedes like to try those long passes. They've got good wheels out there, and some of these forwards, Rundqvist, Lube, Carlson, they can get behind the Soviet defense. They'll go for that.
Just over 9.5 minutes gone here in the first period. Still no score. Well, I doubt very much if it will be a high-scoring game. A shot coming right on. Ritterwall makes the save. That goes high. Eventually comes down, and we'll have another face-off. Semak doing a good job of getting that back to the point.
Face-off so important. We've seen the Soviets do such a good job of controlling face-offs and getting shots on the goal. Ritterwall with good concentration there, kicks that one up into the crowd.
Hey, we've seen this guy before.
He's definitely got his pass for more than one game at this tournament. He seems to be collecting more and more badges.
Imagine a lot of Swiss people will be going sick during the week, catching the flu to attend hockey games when they're played on the weekdays. Fetisov moving in for this face-off. Carlson having a few problems in the face-off circle. Semak is all set. The official telling Carlson he's got to get out of there, put another man in. He's not happy with the way he's lining up. Huss will now do the honors, and he's being told to get out. Well, Piotrowski's got to do something here to get this game moving. This is silly. Just drop the puck and let him go. Sometimes these guys can be a bit pedantic. They're going to run out of players to take this face-off. You're going to see Ritterwall taking it in a moment. Fetisov keeps it in along the boards. Tatarinoff is way back at this side. Eldebrink goes up with Carlson. Leonov helps out, and that squirts out over the blue line. Tatarinoff. The pass too far up there for Leonov. Picked up by the Swedes now as they break. Coming down the ice, Carlson. That was poke-checked off his stick. Sundin couldn't get a handle on it. And again, we see a quick change from the Soviets. Earlier on in the tournament, they were leaving Kamensky and Bykov out there for a very long time indeed, but right now they're changing after just a few seconds. Janssen flips a high one over Fetisov, but offside is a call. Well, he really doesn't know who to support. He's just happy to have the badges.
He's probably been picking them out of that guy's hat that's sitting in the crowd.
Well, let's see if they can get this face-off away a little faster. They do, first time. Fedorov gets it back. Kravchuk up along the boards on the left wing. No one there to pick it up, but the Swedish players too far for Rupa. That goes all the way down the ice. Touched again by the Soviets, first time, so it'll be another icing call. Well, play started fast here in the first period, but right now it seems to have bogged down a little.
Look at Aslan. He's performed well when he's had his opportunity out there. Trying to cheer on his teammates. Watching Ritterwald closely. Let him know if he sees anything that can help.
Anderson backhands that along the boards. The Soviets keep it in nicely. Lube fanned on the clearance. Samuelsson pinning his man to the boards, but the Soviets now trying to wrap around. Just didn't come off from Pavel Bure. Bure again, so strong on that backhand. Right in front. He got to Tatarinov. Had bobbled and bounced out, and the Swedes bring it down on the left wing. Hakan Lube waiting for his teammate to get back on side. Lube has to take it deep into his own territory. Nilsson now. Nilsson, one of the top scorers in the tournament, brings it up. Nilsson still has it. Slams on the brakes, tries to go the other way. Taken out as Fedorov picked it up. Kravchuk doing a great job on defense, playing the body, not worrying about the puck.
Kent Nilsson can certainly make a defenseman look like a fool if he's watching that puck.
Bure back to Fedorov. Fedorov takes a shot. Took a deflection, and we'll have another face-off.
Bure, that young kid for the Soviets, just doesn't stop skating. He's all over the ice.
Well, he's got a bag full of moves out there. He loves to change pace as we take a look at Mishkin, the 35-year-old backup goalie to Artur Irbe. Malachov. I was saying that Pavel Bure, still a teenager, really does have a great future in front of him. Eldebrink got that one into Soviet territory. No one there from Sweden to pick it up. Makarov flipped that along the boards, and again it's brought in offside. Garpenlov trying to get that over. Still no score here in the first period. The Soviet Union going up against Sweden. This is the medal round from Bern, Switzerland, and it's all important. You can't afford to give anything away. They play each other once, the top four teams, the Canadians, the Czechs, the Soviets, and the Swedes, and that's it. Samuelsson along the boards, and the Swedes, who started fast, really now have slowed this one down. Going after it is Eriksson, pinned against the boards by Pryakin. The puck comes loose, and the Swedes now on the left wing, putting it onto the right wing, pushing it forward into the zone. We're going to have another penalty on the plate as Malahov got the touch.
You can hear the crowd's reaction to that play. Swedes moving it left to right, throw it back into the center. Sundin's going after the puck. Just pulled down by Makarov there. He'll sit 2 minutes for interference.
So the NHL star sits for 2.
2 minutes penalty to USSR number 24.
As we approach the 13-minute mark. in the first period. Still no score, as I said. Both teams having their chances, but unable to put the puck in the net. Well, the Soviets pick up that loose puck and bounce it all the way down the ice. Hack and Lube circles in front of the goal. Eldebrink, Lube, Rundqvist on a break now, going right in on goal. Rundqvist shoots wide of the target. Well, you're not going to get many chances like that against the Soviet Union. Homutov intercepts that in the neutral zone. They really have to make more of their chances. Those kind of wide open runs on goal don't come every day. Rundqvist getting it over on the wing to Lube, and the Soviets bounce it off the boards again down the ice as Eldebrink goes all the way back for it. Being shadowed there by Nemchinov, coming up to 1 minute on the penalty. Eklund goes by. The Swedes slow to change, slow to build this one up. Garpenlov skates in, shot into the corner. Eklund will go after it. He's beaten to it. Lube wants it at the top there, edge of the circle. Garpenlov to Eklund. Eldebrink tees it up, takes a shot. The save there from Irbe with 40 seconds now remaining on the penalty. Nemchinov trying to get it out. Kept in. Janssen takes the shot. Well, the Swedes having their chances.
There's Rundqvist on the break. Lovely headman pass there. He's gone. Cuts in on the goal here. The puck stands up on him. It bounces a little bit. He has a hard time handling that. Unfortunate for Rundqvist there. The shot ended up wide. I'm sure he'd like to have another chance at that one.
Dmitriev, the assistant coach for the Soviet Union, looking concerned out there. Sandlin looking relaxed as always in his comfy sweater. Looks like he's about to sit in front of the telly with a cup of tea. But I'm sure he knows what he's doing out there as Eriksson picks it up. Coming up to 20 seconds on the penalty to the Soviet Union. 15 seconds as Eklund gets it over the far side, and again an offside call. The Swedes are so keen to get over that blue line, but they're going to have to wait for the puck to go over first.
Soviets so good at standing up at that blue line as well. They're forcing the Swedes to have to make an extra move or go out wide with the puck. The Swedes a little anxious though to try and get it in there. They're going to have to hold back and stay on the other side of that blue line.
Well, the Swedes have been here in numbers throughout the tournament, and now that their team is in the medal round, they've got even more supporters here. Fedorov rags that puck and then shoots it down, and the Soviets have successfully killed off this penalty to Makarov. A long shot into the far corner. Makarov is back on the ice. Gusarov flips that one forward for Kravchuk. Out of play, so we'll have another face-off. Kravchuk not stepping aside for Garpenlov.
He didn't even turn around and say, "Excuse me."
22-year-old star for Djurgården. Plays an aggressive style of hockey. Good little playmaker. As we take a look at the veteran Konstantinov. And that's what a goaltender has to look through to see the puck. Gone are the days when the goalies didn't wear masks. Can you remember those days, Richard?
I was a very young kid watching it on the television.
Well, I'll leave the subject there. Both teams now getting set for this face-off. Fedorov in the neutral zone wins the draw. Konstantinov bouncing that off the boards. No one there to pick it up except Andersson for Sweden. Andersson gets the return pass. And we're going to have another penalty on the plate.
The referee quick to blow that one down. Swedish defenseman moved the puck forward. Bякin on the attack. Very aggressive on the forecheck, created the offense. Here you see the defenseman moving the puck up. That's Andersson. Bякin comes in on him. The stick is up a little bit, but it doesn't look all that bad. The referee sees it differently. Bякin will sit for cross-checking.
Well, the crowd has gone quiet for a moment here as we take a look at Bякin in the penalty box.
2 minutes penalty to USSR.
Less than 5 minutes remaining on the period. Still no score here in Bern, Switzerland. The Soviets now killing off their second successive penalty. Makharov a moment ago, now Bякin. And what can the Swedes do? Lube leaves that. Eldebrink flips at the center. Sweden now breaking strong with Lube. He's got Rundqvist. Rundqvist goes in the corner. Lube coming in the top of the circle to Rundqvist. Rundqvist back to Lube. Well, possibly one too many passes. They got to get those shots away. It's nice to be unselfish, but you got to go for goal. Makharov picks that one up and flips it into the neutral zone. Eldebrink will start it up again for Sweden. Rundqvist. Lube's pass is intercepted, or the one intended for him, by Bykov. Makharov goes for a little skate to kill off this 2-minute penalty. Makharov never really looks like he's working that hard out there. He's got that lazy style of skating, but he does get away with a lot. The drop back now right in front. Rundqvist taking the shot again. They could have made that play earlier. Fetisov gets it over to the far side. Now the Soviets break. They have one man in the penalty box for another 40 seconds. Bykov gets it all the way back. 35 seconds on the penalty. The Soviets dominating this short-handed spell. Artur Irbe wants a touch. That's whistled along the boards and eventually goes out of play. Sandlin has got to talk to his boys out there on these power play situations. They got to get possession, they got to go for it, and they got to shoot.
They've had possession, but they've been very guilty of trying to make one too many passes, as you said before. They're in that low slot area and their body's in front of that goal. Shoot the puck, anything can happen. We've seen stranger things outside the blue line, in the corner. Just direct the puck toward the goal. It's not an opportunity to get too pretty just because you've got the man advantage.
Carlson pushes that through to Eklund, and the referee wants that one to happen all over again. Too many bodies in the circle. Only the official plus the centers allowed in there. In theory, everyone else is supposed to be outside, but it never really happens that way. Carlson again goes up against Semák. This time the Soviets win it, and Kravchuk takes it around to the far side. Shoots it up just over the blue line. 10 seconds now remaining on the penalty to Ilya Byakin. Eklund wants it. Eklund gets it over the blue line. He's got Carlson. Samuelsson punches that into the corner. Garpenlov drops it back. The Soviets are back to full strength. Carlson whistles that back, and it's intercepted right at the blue line. Byakin overskates it, and the Swedes pick it up and dump it forward. Some good back checking there by Nemchinov as he takes his man out of the play, and it's held right on the blue line in front of the Soviet bench, and we'll have another face-off. Still no score here in the first period.
Neither team really giving an inch. They've each had opportunities, but both teams are so good defensively as well. They're clearing the puck. Not a lot of opportunities for extra rebounds. It's good close action out here.
Grunwald lost control of that. The Soviets pick it up and fire it forward. Pushed in by Fedorov. Back to the Soviet defense now with Byakin. Byakin races to the far side, being shadowed on the play by Anderson. Still the Soviets. Pavel Bure right in the circle. He's got a man right in front. Well, Byakin couldn't get the shot on it. Svensson on the backhand. Irbe deflects that away. Svensson hammers his man into the boards. Konstantinov hangs on a Svensson's stick. Pavel Bure comes to the rescue. Pushed forward for Bure, and he takes his man out, and that's one of the first times we've seen him hit someone and not fall down himself. He's a tough little character, but he does have a tendency to go down. Tatarinoff waiting for his teammates to circle and get back into the plate. Homutov is dropped, and Nilsson tries to bring it forward, and he's skated out of the play by Fedorov. Fedorov got that one over. Rundqvist got a touch and forced the offside, so we'll have another face-off in neutral territory.
Very good hitting in the neutral ice area. Both teams playing the body well. Good look at Tatarinoff. We've been impressed with him through this tournament. Good shot, heads up defenseman back there, very steady.
Plays for Dynamo Moscow. 1 minute to go. Janssen got that one up to Nilsson. It's kept in by Tatarinoff. And you can see the indication from the American referee that we're going to have another penalty on the play.
Kamensky not impressed with that call. There you see him, he's on the move. Eldebrink's going back for that puck. He gets the touch, puts a backhand pass on. Kamensky belts him from behind into the boards. He'll sit 2 for boarding.
Once again, I look around and I see my co-commentator shaking his head. I've seen worse things than that out on the street. But hitting the guy from behind may have been what the American referee Piotrowski was concerned about. The Soviets now getting a shot. That took a deflection. Eldebrink, Janssen trying to move that puck around. Eventually it goes up to the hash marks. There's going to be another penalty on the play with 30 seconds to go in the period.
You can see him signaling for interference. Now there's a little bit of action right around him. Piotrowski, that is. The interference call was going on Janssen by the looks of it, around that goal. Now there are a few other people involved. Here's the action in the zone. Fettisov with a shot toward the goal. It's cleared away from the front of the net. There's Janssen. Well, that's good action to me. Homutov going for that puck. Janssen keeping him away from it right there at the side of the net. That's not a very good call. He was just playing the body. The puck was right there. Now you can see Hackett-Lube. He's not impressed. He's worked his way into the box. Him and Fettisov had a few words, and they're both going for roughing.
Well, again, we see that infraction. Janssen going up against Andrei Homutov. Well, looks perfectly innocent to me, but again, we're not down on the ice. It's easy to second guess to call these from the commentary position. Fettisov is in there. Janssen and Lube. Less than 30 seconds to go on the period here.
Teams will be going 3-on-3. 2 Swedes in the box. Fettisov joins them for roughing. Kamensky was already in there.
So time ticking away here on the period. Both teams will be looking for a well-deserved rest. Well, we're going to take a break right now. So join us in a minute as we wait for this period to go out. Just a couple of seconds There goes the buzzer to end the period. Still no score in the game. A good one, close checking at times, very physical stuff. They're starting to pick up the pace now. Well, we're going to take a break. Join us in a moment for the start of the second period. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the World Ice Hockey Championships in Bern, Switzerland. The start of the second period, and both teams with men in the penalty box. As I said at the end of the first, they're starting to pick it up a bit, and when they start to push and shove, you know they're getting involved. Close checking. No score, though.
There isn't anybody watching this game that's bewildered. They knew it would be tough. They knew it would be close. This is just what everyone expected.
Samuelsson gets it over to this side, and it's 3-on-3. This is the kind of hockey spectators really like. If both teams decide to move it and throw it around. It's a big ice surface out there. And I have a feeling right now that the Soviets have a slight advantage with guys like Makharov out there. That guy loves to skate. He loves space. The pass. Oh, that just trickled by the goaltender. Makharov was right there. Really didn't see it. Brought back in by Konstantinov. Takes the shot. That may have pranged off the metalwork. Another shot. Another save by Ritterwald. Konstantinov really let one rip from close in. And it really did look like it hit the metalwork out there. You can see the time on the penalties as the Swedes bring it forward here in the first minute of play in the second period. Rundqvist doesn't want to go forward. Coming back onto the ice, Kamensky gets right in on the play and gives it to Makharov. Anderson is there to back check. Makharov takes a slight hook, but brings himself back into the action. Push through now. Eklund breaking. Eklund going in on goal. And the save is there. How did he get that shot away? Given a lot of room at the last moment. Bykov picks it up. That's going to be offside. Kamensky found himself on his back, sliding over the line. Let's look at this one again. It took a deflection, took another deflection and cleared away. Makharov missed it. Eriksson eventually got a piece of it. Makharov was on the other post, and the goalie missed it. This one, bang, right away into the corner.
Ritterwald not having a clue where that one was. Some good action. The Soviets have come out hard in this second period. The Swedes want to get moving.
Pushed into the corner for Eklund. Bykov gets there first. Still kept in. Punched into the corner. Bykov looking for the return pass, and it doesn't come. Skating along the blue line, the Soviets keeping the pressure on here in the second period. Janssen moving up with Johansson. Johansson gets the pass now. Still Johansson. Oh, a nice little move by him as he brings it in. Gets it right in front. Garpenlov takes the shot.
Great pass from Johansson. Some nice moves. Garpenlov unable to get all of that one.
The shot there coming from Bykov from a sharp angle. Bykov with that cut under his right eye. Getting involved in the play and then going off. He spent a lot of time on the ice here in the second period.
There's that great pass from Johansson. A one-time effort for Garpenlov. He doesn't get all of that one. That could have been trouble. It's no secret that the Soviets, with the discipline and the fitness on this team, they get stronger as the game goes on. The Swedes are going to have to keep moving, control that puck, and forecheck hard to stay in this one.
Well, that's another great chance for Sweden. It really hasn't come off. Eriksson takes it behind the goal. Stolen off his skate, or stick rather, by Leonov. Pushed back in for Nemchinov. Taken out of the play by Eriksson. Eriksson giving him a hard time, but Nemchinov continues to move the puck along the boards. Eriksson all over him. Some great work by Nemchinov to keep it moving. Leonov has a look in, tries to get the stick in on the puck. Carlson doing some work there to watch Leonov. Piotrowski wants this one to keep going, and that's what they're doing out there. Eventually the whistle blows. Nemchinov really showing some strength out there along the boards, along with Eriksson. Neither one of them wanted to give an inch.
Good action, hard work from both teams. It's nice to keep yelling, play it, but when it does get to the point where 2 or 3 or 4 players come in there, that's when somebody can get hurt. A high stick can come up accidentally or whatever. It's a good play. Take the whistle, get a face-off.
3 minutes gone in the second period, still no score in this one between Sweden and the Soviet Union. The Swedes now. Svensson over the blue line, tries to get it back in front to Sternvall. The pass didn't come out. Konstantinov helped break it up. Konstantinov got that one forward. Pavel Buda is dropped to the ice. There's going to be a penalty on the play. Buda continues, gets it back. The shot coming, and Ritterwall pounces on it.
U.Samuэльsson, he's going to the penalty box. He put the hook on Pavel Bure. Situation right here where Samuelsson had stepped up. Look at Bure, those legs just keep on going. Takes a lot to slow this kid down.
Well, even after young Bure is dumped to the ice, he picks himself up. Watch this. Samuelsson there with the penalty, but he picks himself up, gets back into the play, and puts the puck back to the defenseman. Power play situation for the Soviet Union here in the second period. The Swedes quick to pick that one up in the corner and get it down to Artur Irbe. Oh, a great pass there from the Soviets as Rundqvist hands that one off. Lube, Jonsson. Oh, a giveaway there for Pavel Bure. Bure trying to drop it back to Makarov. Makarov still has it. Bure flips it in the corner to Makarov. Gets it back to the defense. Konstantinov is on this side. Makarov gets it back behind the goal. Pavel Bure is in the circle. They're going to try to break this box down. That goes right in front with Makarov. Eventually squirted away to the far side. Rundqvist slows it down, and we have a whistle on the play. Jonsson lying on his back on the ice, looks to be in pain.
He does look like he's in a considerable amount of pain. Elderbrink is standing right over him. Of course, the two of them play so well together. There you can see Makarov coming to the front of the goal. He clashes together with Jonsson here. Jonsson's leg goes immediately out. He quite possibly twisted a knee or something there. He is in a lot of pain. They certainly don't want to lose him. 30-year-old Thomas Jonsson, a very experienced player. He's had NHL experience, been around a while. Sees action, penalty killing, power play. There you see it again. Yeah, it does appear as though when Makarov came into him, his weight shifted from one leg to the other, and he quite possibly twisted his knee.
Well, all perfectly innocent out there, but Jonsson's still in pain. He works well with Elderbrink on the defense. They do combine nicely on the blue line. They do stand their men up on the blue line when the Soviets are attacking, and if he's gone, he will definitely be missed. The Swedish bench looking concerned, as they should be. A man of this caliber, well, it does look like he's going to make it partially under his own steam, and I'm sure if he has anything to say about it, he'll be back.
Swedes had the box set up here. Another look at that. Makarov with a good move. Ritterwall did well. Very accidental clash between Makarov and Jonsson. The Swedes will be concerned, as you mentioned. Jonsson does log a lot of ice out there. Him and Elderbrink are the premier defensemen for the Swedish team.
So the face-off will be in neutral territory where Rundqvist had it last. get back to the action here in Bern, Switzerland. Still no score. We're in the second period. The Swedes with a man in the penalty box for 1 minute and 4 now as we approach the 4:30 point in the period. Pushed into Bykov. Bykov gets that to the far side. The Swedes setting up that box as they do so well. Kamensky right in front of the net. To the far side, intended for Fetisov, and the race is on. Fetisov will get to it first. Pushes it away from Eklund. Carlson couldn't get that one along the boards. Eklund backed it out, but Kamensky picked it up. Kamensky gets it over to Bykov. Bykov drops it slowly to Kamensky, to Fettisov, to Kamensky. Bykov. The shot coming right there was cleared away. Eklund backhanded it out. All the way back for it. Archer Erb flipping it forward. Just 8 seconds now on the penalty. Pryakin tries to get involved in the action. Fettisov wants it on this side. Kamensky. Homutov rather right in front of the net. Homutov jumped on the ice. The Soviets changing on the fly with this power play as they work it right in front of the goal. Ritterwall holding his ground.
Homutov with a nice move. Swedes looking around trying to pick men up, but Homutov is coming right in at Rolf Ritterwall. A good save off the pads. The rebound is there. Ritterwall does a good job. Keep that puck out of the goal. There's Homutov. So crafty with the puck. Takes the backhand shot. There's all the action in front of Ritterwall.
Well, Homutov had Anderson all over him, but he still managed to break in there. Pryakin shoots it in the zone. Still the Soviets in possession. Pryakin getting it forward. Hristic is there. That's in the net. Makarov. Hristic got it over to him. Makarov makes it 1-0 for the Soviet Union here in the second period. That's the one they wanted.
The Swedes have just killed the penalty off. All kinds of action around that goal. Hristic always working hard. Bodies in front. Makarov is left alone. He just taps the rebound in. There you see Hristic. Very strong player coming to that net. Ritterwall is there. Anderson is trying to help him out, but Makarov is behind them both. All he has to do is touch the puck in, and that's what he does.
Well, you can't let a player of Makarov's caliber sit alone at the side of the net. You really have to have a man on him all the time. So 1-0 here in the second period for the Soviet Union over Sweden. And there's a good shot of the goal scorer with that shiner on the left eye. He'll be happy with that one.
Soviets, of course, so strong all the way through that lineup. Dmitry Hristic, a player who in the past hasn't seen a lot of ice, has really come into form. He's doing a great job for the Soviets.
Just over 6 minutes now gone in the period. Oh, a good interception there. The shot took a deflection off a defenseman. Some good action here. The Swedes bringing themselves right back into this one. It's still not away. Pushed by Svensson to the far side, and Eldebrink dumps it right back in. Well, just when the Soviets thought it was safe to relax with that 1-goal lead, the Swedes pounce and have a go at goal.
There's that giveaway pass. That's Anders Carlson with the shot. Another chance. The Soviets actually look out of position here. They're scrambling.
Great job by Malahov to get in front of that one. Laying the body down in front of the shot. That's the kind of thing a goalie expects of a defenseman. And right now, Archer Erb is getting that kind of performance from his boys. Buре pushes and shoves as he bounces that one in. Samuelsson up on the wing, but too many Soviet players. The shot coming right in. Bounces out to the far side. Strömvall couldn't hold it. Strömvall will pick it up and bat it back into number 27, Eriksson. Samuelsson along the boards as far as the blue line, and again the Soviets keep it in the zone. Strömvall gets that one forward. The long shot, Johansson. Makarov flipped that away. Rupa back into the corner. The Soviets with the build-up now coming out. Pavel Bure trying to get around his man. Fedorov was following. And we have another whistle on the play as we take a look at some of the Swedish support here in this ice stadium in Bernd. There's Pavel Bure working his way along the line.
He's young and tireless out there. Spun around once again. He does go down, but he's up just as fast as he's down.
.32-year-old Ritterwall, who plays for Djurgården, the top goalies in the tournament, has been consistent throughout this one. Only beaten once by Makarov. Lube. Backhander into center. Sundin couldn't hang on to that. And now Sweden breaking forward. The drop pass there by Andersson didn't come off, and they'll have to try again as it comes back out. Lube. Bykov beat him over to the far side. Kravchuk trying to get it in front. That's batted away, but Kravchuk still has it. Shoots it to the far side. The Soviets playing some good positional hockey. Sundin into the neutral zone. Samuelsson gets it back in. The shot all the way around to the far corner. Hacken Lube gets it back in. Rupa is there. Sundin is there. They can't get the shot away. They can't make anything of it. Coming back is Kamensky. Taken out by Svensson. Still Kamensky got the shot wide of the target. Rundqvist picks it up. Tries to get it out of the zone. It hit a Soviet player and it bounces back in now. Rundqvist eventually makes something out of it and gets it forward. Sundin shoots it in. The Swedes will change on the fly. Konstantinov brings it out for the Soviet Union. Gets it up onto the right wing. Konstantinov shoots it back in. And Svensson for Sweden, being shadowed by Pryakin. A nice little pass there by Svensson as he got it to Johansson. Johansson drops it along the boards, and the Swedes, a lovely little pass just inside the blue line. Malachov was there, got all over his man, gives him a punch or two. That's excellent stuff from Malachov. Eklund took a beating as Garpenlov got the shot on goal. The Soviets showing that they too can be physical, they can be rough. Eldebrink brings it in. Eldebrink coming right in on goal. Johansson, still Johansson, taken off the puck by Makarov. Makarov for the Soviets, bringing it down the right wing. Still Makarov gets by his man, is spun around on the play by Svensson. There's going to be a penalty on the play here. Well, that's how you create penalties out there. You take the man on, give him a hard time. Dipsy Doodle, put it between his skates. And if he loses sight of it, he's got to grab you.
That's right, here comes Makarov. He took the puck in the corner, went all the way down the ice, a move to the left, a move to the right. He's so clever. Pulled down on the play by Svensson. Holding is the call. Eklund, of course, so quick for the Swedes. Soviets doing a good job of staying all over him, though. He's not really getting the breaks that we've seen him get in some of these past games.
1-0 the score here in the second period. Makarov scoring for the Soviet Union. Both teams going for gold here in the medal round of this World Ice Hockey Championship tournament. Coming up to the midway point to Tatarinov. Tatarinov gets that one off the backboards. 1:50 remaining in the penalty as the Swedes flip it down the ice. Irbe gets the touch.
The Soviets trying to apply pressure. Leonov guilty of a trip. There you can see Samuelsson going around the goal. Pretty good move right there. Leonov is beat, he stops, just gets the stick in the skates, puts his arms out as if to say, I didn't mean that, but it won't matter in the ref's eyes. Another view of that. Leonov is going to sit for tripping.
It's only his second penalty of the tournament. Nilsson going in to help out, but the Soviets pick it up and bring it forward. The long pass over from Fetisov. Both teams with a man in the box right in front, intercepted nicely by the Swedes. Carlson brings that one back and gets it forward. Nilsson backhands the pass, but there's no one there to pick it up, and that's shot all the way down the ice by the Soviets. Eriksson gets to it first. Icing is the call. Ritterwall had second thoughts about that one.
The Soviets looking for that quick break, fed that just too far. Icing's a call. Both teams, of course, 4-on-4.
An excellent crowd here in Bern. As you can see, the time on the penalties, 1:17 on the Swedish one, 1:32 on the Soviet one.
Halfway through this second period, the pace hasn't let up yet. It's good stuff. Fast action.
The Soviets now dropping it back. Kravchuk shoots it back to the blue line. The hard pass for Fedorov from Byakin is maintained, and it's pushed forward to Gusarov. Gusarov gets that one behind the goal. The Soviets all over the ice, right in front, the shot! Fedorov was there. Some good stuff from Ritterwall. Well, Fedorov moved right into the slot area. Watch this again.
Pass comes directly out in front. There's Fedorov right in the slot. Ritterwall was going down, it hit him, and he manages to hold on.
Too many Swedes here watching the puck. Had their eyes on the guy going around behind the net. They forgot about the trailer coming in. Both teams still with a man in the box as that goes back to Kravchuk. He takes a shot, pushed away by Ritterwall. Still kept in the zone. Gusarov and Kravchuk back there. Another shot. That takes a deflection off Sternvall. Fedorov. The Soviets really applying the pressure here in the second period. Kravchuk getting it back. The shot whistles by the far post. Fedorov is there to try to collect, but Lube gets to it first. Lube along the boards. Hacken Lube looking for someone to pass to. Eventually brings it out over the zone. Anderson gets it to this side of the ice. 9 seconds remaining on the penalty to Sweden. 20 to the Soviet player. A long shot. Irbe handles that easily and gets it out. A nice pass by him. Fedorov couldn't hang on to that. Lube shot it to the far side to Rundqvist. The Swedes are back at full strength. What can they do with a few seconds remaining on the Soviet penalty? Eldebrink takes the shot, and that went off a skate. No real power on the shot. Johansson in there. Homutov comes up with a loose puck and brings it out. Homutov got it forward, and the Soviets now breaking strong. 5-on-5, the Soviets back at full strength. Bykov wants it. He's back there in the corner. Leonov, who stepped on the ice, being tied up by Svensson. Bykov goes in there to help out. Eldebrink takes care of Bykov. Still, the puck is loose. Bykov loses his stick. Doesn't give up. Picks up a stick and gets right back into the action. Konstantinov trying to keep it in. He does. Offside whistle blows. Some good work there from both teams as we look at the number of spectators. 10,275 enjoying every minute of this contest between the Soviet Union and Sweden. The announcement coming from the Swiss announcer.
(1-0) the score. They're certainly getting their money's worth for this game.
Well, we never thought it would be high scoring, and it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. Not when you have two excellent goaltenders and two teams that really can check each other all the way around the rink as far as the blue line, but the Soviets again keep it into the zone. Right out front is Kamensky. Konstantinov moves up to the circle. Konstantinov again moving up into the center ice area right at the top of the slot. Some good work here. The shot. Ritterwall has been outstanding in this period. He's come up with some great saves.
Their bodies all around the front of that goal. Everybody's picking up a man. Homutov had this puck for a long time. He goes around behind the net. He stops. Nobody really falls for that one. Samuelsson stops with him. But Homutov comes around the net, keeps coming around the net, skates around everybody out there, snaps a wrist shot. There's Ritterwall. He's ready and waiting. Right into the glove.
Kamensky and Bykov setting up some great picks up there, trying to block the defenseman as Homutov made his way around into the slot area. Hристич taken out of the play. Anderson, some good forechecking. Huss goes in for Sweden. They overskate it, and the Soviets bring it back out with four men now breaking forward. Tatarinoff gets it up on the wing. Pryakin to Tatarinoff, takes the shot. Nilsson picks up the loose puck. Still has control. Nilsson gets it up on the wing, but the Soviets will get to it first. The shot there coming from Hристич as Tatarinoff batted it in. Tatarinoff couldn't get it by the Swedish forward Nilsson. Nilsson now. Nilsson takes the shot high and wide of the net. Sweden keep it in as far as the circle, but the Soviets quick to get it out to center, and the break is on now. Eklund goes after his man. That's right in front. Makarov takes the shot. Save is there. The rebound, the shot comes off a defenseman. Some good stuff from the Soviets as they broke hard. Caught the Swedes napping with too many men forward. A great round of applause for Ritterwall.
Nilsson went down the ice and took a shot, but how quickly those Russians came back. Great play here by Pryakin. He feeds Makarov. Ritterwall comes up big with a skate save on that one.
Again, we see the defenseman getting in front of that shot. Pryakin feeds this one over. Makharov was right there. The skate save comes out to cut that one down. Makharov so dangerous in front of that net. Svensson goes back for it, being chased by Nemchinov. Strömvall for Sweden moves it into center and over the blue line. Strömvall dropping it back. The shot, the save by Irbe comes from Svensson. Eklund pushes it in now right in front. Strömvall can't get that one. The puck is bouncing, eventually goes over Svensson's stick into neutral ice, but the Swedes now with Strömvall bringing it in. Eklund takes control now. Strömvall again picks up the loose puck and pushes it into the corner. Eklund is there with Rupa too. The Swedes really got to get some shots on goal. Strömvall looking for Rupa. Eklund is tied up on the play by Gusarov, and we'll have a face-off.
The Soviets are doing a great job defensively of keeping the Swedish forwards away from the front of that goal, and they're not getting the quality shots that they'd like to get. The defense is really staying to the inside, keeping the Swedes to the outside. That's exactly what Tikhonov wants out there.
Well, as I said before, that's what Pavel Woll and Czechoslovakia did against Canada. They couldn't get those good shots on goal.
Dave King's comment, the Canadian coach, of course, after the game, was that the Czechs defensively kept them to the outside and they didn't get the shots they wanted.
It's those shots from in close and the ones that are screened that give the goaltenders problems. If you're going to shoot from the blue line and he's got a clear look at it all the way, hey, it's just like being in practice. He'll take care of those. The Swedes still getting behind their team as Eriksson flipped that over the far side. They go after it in numbers. Pavel Burr, some good job, a good job there of back checking, got it out into the neutral zone. Samuelsson batted it forward, but the Soviets now. Byakin breaking towards the net. Pavel Buре on the far side. Byakin in front. Fedorov is there. Fedorov with Buре. Sundin is all over him. That one went off a Swedish skate. Pushed along the boards. Hakenlube gets it back, and the Swedes now breaking with 4 men up. Sundin trying to get over that line. He does, but can't get by Fedorov. Still Sundin having problems with Fedorov, and Eriksson comes in to help out. Pavel Buре misses a check on him. Pavel Buре picks it up, gives it to Fedorov. Fedorov on the backhand, still Fedorov working around the back of the net, dropping it off to Pavel Buре. Buре, oh, a nice little move by him, right in front, wrap around, and Ritterwall is there. It's still not away. Byakin having a go at it now. He's brought to the ice, pushed into the corner. Samuelsson is there trying to get it out, but the Soviets now bring it out, and they really did apply the pressure for a long time. A good spell by Fedorov and Byakin and Pavel Buре.
Excellent work. The Swedes have stopped skating here, and the Soviets are really starting to take advantage of that.
Coming up now, the pass takes a deflection. The Swedes with Rundqvist. Rundqvist behind the net, looking for Johansson. He's got him. Johansson. Still Johansson drops it right back. Eklund takes the shot. That took a deflection. Eklund again takes the shot. Grabbed by Buре. You can see him flipping it in his glove as if to say, what's all the fuss about?
Well, the Swedes came back to life when they got that line change out there. Eklund with one shot. That's right off Fetisov in front. The play is still loose. The puck is moving around right back to Eklund. He gets a second crack at it. The two bodies, at least for the Soviets that were down, were low enough that the goaltender didn't have any trouble with seeing that one. There it is, right into the glove.
Archer Irbe, not Buре, holding his ground between the pipes. Some good stuff from the Swedes as Samuelsson gets it over. That one trickled by, but the Swedes still having possession. You can see that Tikhonov is not happy on the bench. They're under pressure right now. One of the players there saying, yes, 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 just leave me alone, let me play hockey. But that's the coach's job, to tell them what they're doing wrong, as well as to give them congratulations when they do something well. Pryakin gets it back to the defense, and the Soviets now taking control of this puck, fire that one all the way down the ice. Samuelsson gets the touch, icing, and again the Soviets will have it deep in their territory.
Coach Tikhonov knows it's a 60-minute game out there. He is never happy with his team. A 2-second breakdown there defensively. Didn't result in a goal, but that gets Tikhonov's blood pumping. He really does not like that. He's so regimental, does not understand any lackadaisical play at all.
He always looks for more, and somehow he always gets it from the Soviet team. They really do perform just when he wants it. Huss backhands that into the corner. The Swedes are going through a good spell. That one came out, and Svensson couldn't keep it into the zone. Leonov is all over him as we approach the final 2 minutes of play.
Leonov is asking the referee, are you calling that on me? He looked very confused. Here you see Leonov going after Svensson. Svensson's a man that's down, but he's actually the one that's committing the infraction as well. He's holding on to Leonov's stick. He's still got a hold of it. Leonov looks like he saddled him up, and he's riding him toward the goal here. The puck is still loose. The whistle hasn't blown. When the Swedes touch it, it does. Svensson will go 2 minutes for holding.
Well, that's a favorite trick of forwards and defensemen out there. You get the stick under the arm, you put the clamp on it, and he's not happy with that call. Neither are the supporters here. He'll go for 2. Listen to the whistles and the jeers from this crowd, made up A lot of Swedish supporters. You can see the signs dangling down for Sweden. Right now they trail by 1 here in the second period. Tikhonov, who eats, sleeps, breathes ice hockey 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months of the year. Piotrowski trying to sort out where this face-off should be. Some discussion as to where it should be, but it looks like they've finally sorted it out. Carlson will go against Bykov, deep in Swedish territory. A chance here for the Soviets to put on the power play with less than 2 minutes to go in the second period. They lead by 1. Makarov scoring in this period. Hристич doing a lot of work to help him out. And now they're looking for number 2. Bykov, just inside the blue line, has it batted away, and Tatarinoff for the Soviet Union slowly gets it back to Homutov. 1.5 minutes remaining on both the penalty and the period. Bykov against Samuelsson. Eriksson goes in to help out. Kamensky fires it to the far side. Time ticking away here on the period and the penalty. You can see Samuelsson giving instructions as Bykov tries to get in the box. The shot coming from the point. The save is there. The rebound, the save again from Ritterwall. Bykov is in there, as always, trying to penetrate that box. He did that. The shot came in. And some good stuff from Ritterwall.
There's the puck out at the point. A lot of time. The big wind-up. There it goes. Ritterwall makes the initial save. Bykov is camped right out in front of him. Can't get it by him. The long legs of Ritterwall cover that puck. Good action here. The Swedes are chasing. The Soviets controlling the puck in the zone. There's a friendly little smash away from the play. Bykov turning around for a number.
He'll get him later. Swedes trying to clear this one out as Hakanlub now bounces it off the boards and Fettisov has to go deep. 1 minute remaining on the second period. The same time remaining on the penalty, and we're going to have another penalty on the play here as Fettisov broke down the ice.
The play had gone down into the Soviet zone. It was away from the play. Kamensky had been involved in front of the goal. He'd been taken down by the defenseman as they skated away. An extra little shot there. He'll get 2 minutes for high sticking.
Piotrowski not letting anything go in this one. He wants to see them skate. He wants to see them play good hockey, but he's not going to let the rough stuff or the dirty stuff off the play go unnoticed.
That'll wipe out the power play for the Soviets.
Less than a minute remaining on the period. The Swedes with nothing really to cheer about in this second period. They started well. They had one opportunity in this period, but Garpenlov fanned on the shot. Hakanlub now gets it back to his defense. Coming up to 30 seconds on the period. Drop back to Makarov. They're just playing with it now, trying not to make any mistakes. The shot right on the goal. Ritterwall, another one coming in. Makarov got it back. Kravchuk, the backhand shot over to the far corner. Makarov still has possession. Works his way along the boards behind the net. And the Soviets really piling on the pressure here in the last few seconds of this period. Kravchuk doing his job. The long pass. An offside whistle as the buzzer goes. Join us in a minute for the third and final period. Welcome back to the third and final period. here in Bern, Switzerland. The Soviets up against the Swedes. The Soviets lead by 1-0. The Swedes now are back to full strength. They've got the man advantage. Malahov flips that one all the way around. And we'll have another face-off. Well, the third period, Richard, an all-important one. A lot of teams find that when they play the likes of the Soviets and the Canadians that they run out of steam in the final 20 minutes.
Soviets are so fit. They get stronger as the game goes on. There's no question about that. The Swedes have done a good job. There's a lot of pressure on them in the second period, though. The Soviets outshot them 16-8. They're really going to have to pull one heck of a period together here.
Well, last time out, the Swedes beat them. But right now, the Soviets lead. Tatarinoff goes beside the goal with Artur Irbe, who's been playing solid throughout this game. Eklund with 25 seconds gives it off. The Swedes almost give that one away. Nilsson moving right in on goal. You can see Hackenlube on the wing as Nilsson moves right in, takes the shot. It looked like Artur Irbe lost that one for a moment.
There he is, the puck is bouncing, rolling. Irbe did well just to get an arm on that one.
So we get set for this face-off in Soviet territory. Garpenlov tries to kick it away, but Kravchuk comes up for it. All the way down to Ritterwald. Pushed out now to Eklund. Drops it back, and the Soviets are back at full strength. Breaking hard now. Kamensky going in. Right in on goal. Ritterwald is there, the rebound, and that's pushed into the corner. Some good stuff by Ritterwald to hold his ground. Kamensky worked his way in. Still Kamensky is checking here. Samuelsson picks it up. Shoots it up to Eklund. Eklund intercepted there by Fedorov. Fedorov looking for Kamensky. Samuelsson will get to that one. Up on the wing. The Swedes now really do have to apply some pressure in this period. A long shot. Picked up eventually by Gusarov along the boards now. Strömvall gets the loose puck, tries to punch it forward, and the Soviets now coming back. Fedorov getting it off. Fedorov, the return pass. Ritterwald again came way out. Huss in there along with Fedorov, some grabbing and holding. And the whistle blows, and we'll have another face-off. Offside is the call. Well, the Soviets showing that they can break quickly at any time.
Kamensky and Fedorov really linking up well together there. They don't even play on the same line together normally. They had no trouble finding each other on that play.
Semak out there with Nemchinov. Semak punched that one forward, and the Swedes have possession. Getting that one along the boards to Malahov. Malahov to Nemchinov. Looking for Leonov. He can't hang on to that one. Some good stuff coming here from Strömvall, but he's outskated. Picks it up again, and they call it an offside again. The Swedish fans don't like that as Strömvall moved into scoring position.
He had an opportunity, possibly. The crowd yelling that the Soviets had carried the puck back into the zone. Malahov comes up to the puck. Strömvall is offsides here, but Malahov carries it back into the zone. That's what the crowd had a little go about.
Gets as far as the blue line. Again, we see an offside call. "1-0 the score here in the third period. An excellent crowd here to support both Sweden and the Soviet Union. The Soviets breaking with 3 forward, looking for Nemchinov with Semak. Offside whistle blows, and for those of you watching for the first time, the puck must be the first thing to go over the blue line. If the player precedes the puck, like right here, then it's offside. Well, it's difficult to see that one. Nilsson's in the way of the puck, but the puck must be the first thing to go over, and then the players follow. Nilsson being shoved out of the play, but not before he gets it to Eldebrink. Eldebrink getting that one up to center. Hackenlube, long pass intended for Nilsson, took a bounce, and the Soviets pick it up with Malahov. Nemchinov slammed on the brakes. Rundqvist picked it up, being shadowed there by Nemchinov. Some quick changes as Nilsson pops that one over to the far side to Lube, and he couldn't get it, and the Soviets kick it in over the line. The Soviets now with Makarov breaking towards the net. Makarov had to slam on the brakes as he went right by the net, and the Soviets have possession now. Working right in front, going in on the backhand side, Semak. Still it's Semak being shadowed by Svensson. Eldebrink comes in to help out along with Rundqvist, but the Soviets come up with the loose puck. They're given a lot of time on this puck to Tatarinov in the neutral zone. Soviets really are skating hard. You can see Pryakin going for that. Samuelsson goes after him. Hристич wants it too. And that's shot all the way down the ice. Again, we see the Soviets have come out. They're skating. They want it.
They're doing what they want at will here. The Swedes are just chasing them around. They're not being able to play the body as the Soviets are staying low. They're keeping their legs moving, and they're really looking for each other. Most of the play is right in that Swedish zone. Swedes are going to have to find another gear here.
Well, possibly one of the youngest supporters in the crowd there, holding up her souvenir puck. One man who never stops giving instructions, Tikhonov on the bench. Eklund now for Sweden. They got to string it together. Kravchuk was all over him. Didn't let him get that one away, and the Soviets now with Makarov flipping it to the far side, looking for the return pass. Hристич gives it to Makarov. Makarov again over to the far side, working right in on goal. The shot. The Soviets a lot of pressure. Garpenlov couldn't handle on that. Got the return pass, and with 5 minutes gone in the period, Garpenlov breaks strong. Garpenlov, still Garpenlov, spun to the ice. Piotrowski waves that one off. The Swedish fans calling for a penalty. Bykov stops at the red line, gives it back to the defense. Oh, a giveaway there. Haas is breaking for the net. The return pass from Carlson was intended for Strömvall, but it didn't come off. Homutov now. Homutov working in. He scores! Well, the Soviets made something out of nothing there. It looked like the Swedes were starting to string a few passes together. Homutov says, no way, I'm going down, I'm going to score. He makes it 2.
There you can see the play go back toward the blue line. It's a giveaway pass here from U.Samuэльsson. Homutov is off and running. Andersson on the chase, trying to get back into it. A nice little flip, goes off the stick, over Eldebrink. Over Ritterwall, I'm sorry, the goaltender was involved here as the player was Andersson coming back into that. There's Khomutov's flip. It goes off the stick of Andersson over Ritterwall.
We're going to take a break. Join us for the remainder of the third period. Welcome back to Bern, Switzerland for the World Ice Hockey Championships. Gusarov to Pavel Buda. We're here in the third period, 2-0 the score for the Soviet Union. Makarov and Homutov collecting the goals for the big red machine. Kravchuk shoots that one in. And it really does look like the Soviets can score when they want to. Good anticipation on that play along the blue line from Homutov to intercept the pass. It really was telegraphed, but he got the skate on it and went down and scored the goal. Byakin, a little head fake, takes a shot. Ritterwall had problems with that. Huss with Carlson. Still it's Huss. It's going to be cleared away by Fedorov. Along the boards, Konstantinov, a nice pass from him, breaking in on goal now. The Soviets, again with Pavel Buda, still with Buda behind the net, taking a shot or two from Svensson. In the corner, Pavel Buda scrambling, fighting for that puck along with Rundqvist, Eldebrink out there now. Still the Soviets in control. Now the Swedes pick it up, dump it forward. Fedorov helped to break that one up. Hakan-Lube goes after it but can't get to it. All the way back for it, Sweden. Svensson. Jonsson. His pass is a giveaway and the Soviet Union now break down. Nemchinov is right in front of the net looking for the pass. Good stuff by Svensson to break it up. Semak tries to bring it in and he's dumped to the ice at the last moment there. Still, Fetisov takes the shot and a great save. Nilsson goes after it. A good spell here from the Soviet Union. Nilsson, a great job avoiding that check, pushes that forward to Lube. Nilsson and Lube have combined well, but they've been quiet throughout this game. What can they do here in the remaining moments in the third period? Fetisov steals that nicely, gets it in front, and the Soviets back on the attack. Leonov flips it to an open wing intended for Makarov, but there's no one there to collect. And the Swedes fire it back into the Soviet zone. Going after it is Eklund. Hristic got that one forward. Hristic breaking right in a goal. Hristic scores! Oh, that was nice. That was pretty. 3-0 the score here in the third period. The Soviet supporters are celebrating, and they've got a lot to cheer about.
We've mentioned before that Hristic didn't see a lot of ice time in the past, but he's really done a great job. That's a super pass. Pryakin ahead to Hristic, right over Ritterwall, and he slams into the end boards. Hristic had just come off the bench, got this play going. Pryakin with a nice pass, Hristic with the finishing touch. Crashes into the boards, but he's happy about that one.
Well, some great stuff from the Soviets. He doesn't mind about plowing into the boards when you score a goal like that. 3-0 now the score. The Soviets well and truly in the lead. And they come back on the attack, but Huss gets in there to break it up. The Swedes are going to have to pull out something magical here to bring themselves back into this game. They've been flat-footed at times. They've had a couple of chances with Rundqvist and Garpenlov, and they blew them. Artur Erb has been so strong between the pipes for the Soviet Union. Ritterwall has played well, but when you're up against an attack like that with Hristic coming down on it, there's not much you can do about it. 13:22 gone in the third period. 3-0 the score here in Bern, Switzerland. We're in the medal round now. These games are important. The Canadians, the Swedes, the Czechs, and of course the Soviet Union are fighting it out for gold, silver, and bronze. Soviets looking very, very relaxed out there, throwing the puck around. Byakov. Kamensky wants it. Kamensky gets it up to the far side. Bykov breaking towards the goal, eventually goes in the corner. Homutov had that one bounce out, but again, the second effort gets it into the corner. Bykov takes a hammering. Carlson picks it up. Flips a lazy one forward, and the Swedes now. But as soon as they touch that puck, Richard, you see about 2 if not 3 Soviet players on them. They really do get back into it quickly.
They're playing great defensive hockey, and they're all over the Swedes. The Swedes can't get anything going without the Soviets, 1 to 2 men all over them.
Nilsson up on the wing. Punch back into the zone. Always a red shirt in front of that goal. Rundqvist wants it, gets it, has it bounce over his stick. Hackenlube drops it back to Eldebrink. Eldebrink takes a shot. That bobbles in the slot area. And again, the Soviets retain possession as they bring it out over the blue line now. Working right in, that shot. A tricky one for Ridderwall. Backhands it up along the boards. 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes for Sweden to string something together here to bring themselves back into this game. Fettisov had moved up. Fettisov keeps it in the zone. Some good stuff from him. Pryakin backhands it forward. Bykov. Tatarinoff takes a shot. The loose puck is right there. And they just couldn't squeeze it in between the goalie and the post. Makarov keeps it in. Pryakin tries to get it right in front of the goal. The Swedes unable to take it out of the zone. You can see frustration there from Garpenlov as he hooked his man and brought him down.
Every time the Swedes do touch the puck, the Soviets just strip it right off them and turn the other way. Eldebrink, the veteran defenseman, shaking his head. Garpenlov will go off for hooking. Watch this action. Pryakin, Makarov, they're all over the goal. Tatarinoff and Fettisov holding that blue line so well throughout this whole shift. Pryakin pulled down by Garpenlov right there.
Well, you're trailing by 3. You're coming up to the end of the game. The last thing you want is a penalty like that. But that's what Sweden have right now. There'll be a man down for 2. The Soviets with Byakin, Fedorov. They'll make sure of this one. They'll throw it around, take their time. Buре is working well with Fedorov and Byakin out there, but now Sweden, they know they've got to go forward. They're a man down. Samuelsson takes the shot. Archer Irbe is there to make the save. Well, good effort by the Swedes. They brought themselves up the ice with 3 men against 2.
There's the pass from Eklund going across. Samuelsson steps into it. Irbe has it. Not any real problem. 3 Soviets end up in front of that goal, and there's not a rebound anyways.
Well, it's nice to see the Swedes going forward despite being a man down. The Swedish supporters haven't had a lot to cheer about. They've had their moments. Still no goals for them. Garpenlov sitting this one out, and that takes a weird and wonderful bounce, ends up in the crowd, and we'll have another face-off. Garpenlov sitting this one out for 2 minutes for hooking on Pryakin. Well, surely Tikhonov must be a little happier now and a little more relaxed than he was. They're arguing about where this face-off should be, but the officials have made up their mind.
Under 4 minutes to play, you're up 3-0, and you still see Tikhonov barking out orders. He just doesn't relax.
He wants more than 100%, more than all of the time.
I suppose that's why his record stands for itself.
From the face-off, the Soviets win it. Malahov gets that one into Swedish territory. It's cleared out over the line. Homutov had problems with that. Homutov scoots it back to Malahov. Kamensky, the little drop pass is a bit too strong. Sternvall, and the whistle blows. The official with Kamensky on Samuelsson, and we're going to have penalties on the play.
Unbelievable play right there. You can see Samuelsson down, and he's hurting. Watch this. Kamensky goes over the blue line. He's being shadowed by 2 Swedes. Anderson moves in, but Samuelsson comes in very high. Takes Kamensky's head off. Kamensky goes down very hard. The referee has that one all the way. Kamensky did well not to bang the back of his head on the ice there. He gets up, he's watching the ref, but he hasn't forgotten this play. Another view, Anderson moving in, but Samuelsson getting that finishing touch on Kamensky's head. Brings him down very heavily. The players get up. Watch Kamensky. A little headbutt in the face. See you later, Samuelsson. He's down. That's the part we were getting to. Kamensky will go for roughing. Samuelsson gets elbowing. I think Kamensky's quite happy that he got the last shot in there. Very nice headbutt from him.
Well, you don't see that kind of thing too often. Thank goodness for that. We wouldn't encourage that kind of play from any youngsters watching. The head is for thinking, not for butting. Dmitriev having words with Tikhonov, and I'm sure they'll have words with the Soviet player after the game.
I'm sure that Kamensky dreads going back to the bench more than he does on the ice. Penalty like that, Tikhonov will be after him.
So roughing and elbowing the calls. The Soviets now taken out just inside the blue line by Rundqvist. Rundqvist has done a great job of forechecking. He hasn't had a lot of support up there. Going in is Fettisov. Bykov goes in to help out. Rundqvist breaks hard along the boards. Slows it right down when he knows he can't get the pass. The Soviets. Makarov dropping it back. Homutov. All the way back to Fettisov. Homutov has a lot of time. Takes a shot. The save is there. Oh, a good one by Ritterwald as Eldebrink tries to get it out. And it trickles over the line. Rundqvist now going up against Fettisov. Coming up to 1 minute on the penalty. Both teams with just one man in the penalty box. Rundqvist doing a great job again of giving the Soviets problems in their own zone. Samuelsson goes after his man. Bykov flips that in front of the cage. Makarov. Makarov so good at stick handling. 40 seconds on the penalties.
2 minutes to go.
The shot coming. The save again from Ritterwald. Bykov was positioned right in the slot area, just a few feet out, point blank range, let that shot rip. And some great stuff from Ritterwald. Kravchuk gets it all the way back into his zone. Gusarov to Kravchuk. Gusarov. The slow, deliberate build-up with Pryakin on the wing. Gusarov decides he didn't like what he saw. Took it out and flipped it back in. Samuelsson for Sweden. They're running out of time here in the third period. The Swedes desperately need something. They trail by 3 as Garpenlov got that on the offside pass. And they'll have to have a face-off in neutral zone. Swedish officials know they have to do something quickly. They're not getting the shots on goal. Samuelsson shoots that one forward. There's no one there except Byakin. He bounces it back to Fedorov. Fedorov right in front, the backhand. Some good work there from Ritterwald again. Byakin, a little give and go with Fedorov. Worked his way right back into the play. Watch this.
Nice pass into the slot. Byakin is there for the backhander. Ritterwald does well. The Soviets totally controlling the play. Byakin was in very close when he got that backhander off. Couldn't do a lot with it. Had another crack at the rebound. Ritterwald hangs on.
Still no smile or even a hint of a smile from Tikhonov. He knows he's got this one. The face-off here with Carlson, Sternvall trying to get possession. Pavel Buda will take it behind his own net. Coming up to 30 seconds on the game, right in front. Malahov couldn't contain that one, but the Swedes let it go by. They still have possession. Sternvall couldn't keep it into the zone, pushed along the boards. Malahov gives Sternvall a shot, knocks him to the ice. Pavel Buda will pick that up off the boards, flip it into the neutral zone with just 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Carlson goes after his man. Still the Soviets apply the pressure here, working all around with Fedorov. Well, there goes the buzzer. The teams come out on the ice to congratulate their goaltenders at the end. It's the Soviets 3, the Swedes 0.
A well-deserved victory for the Soviets and a well-earned shutout for that man, Artur Irbe.
Well, Bykov gives him a big hug, and the supporters here have a lot to cheer about. That's the first one in the medal round for the Soviet Union. Let's take a look at the results. Day one in the finals, 8-1 for Finland over Norway. USA over West Germany 5-3. And day two, Czechoslovakia over Canada. That was a close one, 3-2. And the Soviet Union over Sweden, 3-0.
With the medal round here going on, the Czechs and the Soviets find themselves at the top.
Let's take a look at the medal round tables here. The Soviets in first place, along with the Czechs and the Canadians and the Swedes down at the bottom of the table.
The Canadians and the Swedes are not to be counted out of this one. They were ranked 1 and 2 going into it, and it's far from over.
Well, still lots of action to come here on Eurosport. Lots of ice hockey left. Later today, West Germany against Finland. West Germany looking for their first victory of the tournament. Right now, the Finns are flying. 5 o'clock UK time, approximately 6 o'clock Europe.